Hey, what's going on, guys? It's the Short Sports Show. I'm your host, Daniel Short. Today, well, you know what today is. It's NFL Draft Day, Thursday, May 8th, 2014. We had to wait an extra week because the NFL decided to, delay it, whatever. But it's finally here. Oh, man. I'm so excited for today. Got out of work early so I can do this show. And I'm excited. Actually, it's weird for me as a San Diego Charger fan. I'm excited because it's draft day. Every fan is. Unless you're like the Indianapolis Colts or Kansas City Chiefs, where you don't have a pick. But anyways, you're really excited. Well, actually, the Chiefs do have a pick. I don't know why I said that. But anyways, you're really excited. But there's a chance the Chargers could actually trade down and out of the first round, which would be really depressing because round one's only today, and that's it. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm excited. Draft day is here, a few hours away, and there's still the speculation, still guessing who the Texans are going to take with the first pick. The Rams, will they trade out of the second pick? Will the Falcons move up? Will the Lions, anybody move up? All the different talks. Where's Manziel going to go? Where's Clowney going to go? It's crazy. But now, it's a few more hours and it's here. So right now, for most people, what I would suggest them doing is just ignoring all the rumors that's going out there that the Texans, are looking to still trade, that they're, instead of taking 3 first-round picks, they'll take 2 and all this other little small things. I ignore them because a lot of them are just big smoke screens, and you're going to end up getting distracted and not knowing what's right and what's wrong. Because everything's going to be decided until later tonight, and if there's any moves that happen, it'll literally either happen during the draft itself or 5 to 10 minutes before the draft. Nothing's going to happen right now. Nothing will happen. No trades, no signs, no absolute guaranteed picks. Everything's going to wait until literally when the draft starts. So for anybody that, is just, I'm hearing this, that the Falcons are going to move up and trade with the Rams right now, and it's going to happen real soon. Just blow that all out, because nothing's going to happen till tonight, till the draft actually begins. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for today's draft. Man. It's here. It's crazy to think that it's actually here, that there's no more waiting, and we can finally begin. First things we'll do with the draft is talk about, I'll go through the list of, the picks, so everybody's all informed and what's going on, who's got the picks, and also talk about some players that stand out. Now, every year for me, when I watch the draft, there's always players that somehow they just pop out in my head, and I feel like they could become real stars. Now, I'm sure a lot of people do this on their own time. They'll think of, wow, that guy actually sounds pretty good, or looks, he ran pretty good, he might do pretty solid in the NFL. Well, these are some players that, for me, I have a weird system in my head. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Going back on a few drafts, it's fine if you don't believe me. But I know what happened. If my dad was here, I'd bring him in. I'd be like, Dad, let him know. Tell him what I said before the draft. And did I tell you this player was going to be good? And it happened. And it's a few. Some have, haven't really shined out yet. But for example, Doug Martin. When he came out of Boise State, no one really knew him. No one really talked about Doug Martin. No one thought he was going to be the hamster that he is at Tampa Bay, how really good he was going to be. No one thought that. And I didn't think he'd become that big of a star or anything, but when he was at Boise State, we played him when TCU went at it with Boise all, past few years. They were playing each other. And I saw this running back. I'm like, man, this guy can actually be really, really good. Still, no one really saw it or anything, but I wrote it down on a list. Doug Martin, gonna be solid, and there he was. So we'll talk about a few players that stand out in my mind that I feel like that are gonna may not even be drafted, if not be drafted late. That really can stand out and have breakout years. So we'll talk about that. But first, we'll go ahead and get into the top 5 picks. Where's Manziel going to go? Where's Clowney, Khalil Mack? Who's better? Who would you take? A lot of these things, I want to get this, I don't know how long this episode's going to be because I want to get this out there. I want to hear what people have to say. Because, I'm sure you're a fan of one of these teams, obviously, and you'll let me know who you want your team to take, what you think will happen. And I also have, a buddy of mine who could not make it today, is huge Denver Bronco fan. And I've known him such a long time, but in school couldn't really work out a schedule. But he gave me a few things that he wanted for me to talk about. What he thinks is going to happen with let me see. Let me scroll down on messages. What he believes is going to happen in the draft and all that good stuff. And then I want to hear what other people have to say about the draft. But first, we all know the Houston Texans have been on the clock for a very, very long time, almost since beginning of the season, somewhere around there. About week 4 or 5, we kind of knew, okay, this team sucks. Houston Texans on the clock. Big thing is Clowney or Manziel. Who the Texans gonna take? Now, I would love to see Manziel go there. With Bill O'Brien, that'd be awesome to see what they can do. That offense just needs some electricity out there, and Manziel could bring it. You still have Andre Johnson. You got Dustin Hopkins out there. People rarely talk about. They did lose Owen Daniels, so that might hurt them. They could find tight end later in the draft. Offensive line is going to be, they're going to have help there for sure. Arian Foster, can't forget about him. Arian Foster being out there. I know he's been hurt, but if he can return back to his form, we can be looking at a really good offense again. I mean, they did have Matt Schaub, and, right now Matt Schaub is only known for throwing back to back pick sixes for I don't know how many weeks. So, with Bill O'Brien being there, smart offensive coach, saw what he did not only at New England, which he got overshadowed because of Tom Brady, but then going over to Penn State, and he had one heck of a quarterback recruit coming out of high school in Christian Hatterberg, but to develop him and be ready for the college game, playing in the Big Ten, he did pretty good for his freshman year. I think he won Big Ten Freshman of the Year. So he knows the quarterbacks. He knows how to develop them and how to get them better and prepared for the next level. And so for all those speculations of, well, Manziel, can he transition his game over to the NFL? If it's for any team for him to transition, if there's going to be a problem for him to transition his game to the NFL, then the best coach to go to is right there at number 1, Bill O'Brien. He can help, settle him down and make the transition so much easier for Manziel. And look at the options, the offense that he would have for Manziel. You still got Johnson, who's still going to put up those yards, the veteran, the leader of the team, Arian Foster, Dustin Hopkins, so on and so forth. And offensively, they can get so many more players in the draft that they can also develop that can be really good. So for the Texans, I would love to see them get Johnny Manziel. But honestly, I think they are sold on Jadeveon Clowney. I think it's going to be Clowney. They want to get the defense intact because we did see defensively they were very weak. And having Clowney there, opposite side of J.J. Watt, that could create so much havoc for offenses. And especially in their division, they don't, Jacksonville Jaguars don't have a good offensive line. Indianapolis Colts really don't have a good offensive line. Tennessee Titans, they don't have one. So that could help, because they already have to worry about J.J. Watt, and that they could barely handle him. So if you have Clowney there, depending on how he does, that could be another force right there where it's like, wow, that you could be looking at 6 wins right there. 8 wins, I can't count. So, no, it'd be 6, that's 3. Yeah, 6 wins. That's pretty nice right there. And then you also can rely on Bill O'Brien. He's got, to put more pressure on him to have either TJ Yates be the guy to step up. Case Keenum, who I still have a little bit of faith in Case Keenum. I think he can still get the job done. You got him. I'm sure there's another quarterback on the roster who I have no idea who, but bam, you still got them. TJ Yates, he, not too long ago was in the playoffs. He was actually the starting quarterback for the first ever Texans playoff game and did pretty good against the Bengals. So he's got experience under him. Case Keenum played a few games last season, so he also has experience. So Bill O'Brien's already been working with them as well. That's pretty good. And you can also still get a quarterback later in the draft, Zach Mettenberg, AJ McCarron, so on and so forth. Taj Boyd, who I really like out of Clemson. So, there are more quarterbacks in the draft than there are really good defensive linemen, at least that we know of right now. And especially the physicalness, the stature of Jadeveon Clowney, not a lot out there. So overall, I think in the end, we're going to see Houston Texans take Jadeveon Clowney with the first pick and keep it. I don't see any trades with the first pick. What the Texans are asking for, I don't think anybody's going to give up, because we already saw, what the Redskins are going through, who would have had the next pick and the second pick overall, but trading up, giving up 3 or 2 first round picks for RG3, and St. Louis Rams really came out good with that, because wow, they were 7-9 last season and now hold the second overall pick again in the draft. 7-9 in a really, really tough division where you had not only the Super Bowl winning team in there, you had I guess what you could say, the second place NFC team in there, and the Cardinals, who could have made a run in the playoffs as well. You're in a very, very good division, and you're in a very good position to be in, because yes, you were 7-9, but you got the second overall pick now. And honestly, I don't see where it makes sense at all for the Rams to trade out of the second spot. You are in such a beautiful position with not only the second pick, but you have the 13th pick as well. If in my mind, if I'm a GM, I'm so happy. I'm ecstatic, because no matter what the Houston Texans do, if it doesn't matter. For me, I'm looking at, I got to upgrade my offense. I still believe in Sam Bradford. He, through the 3-4 weeks that he played throughout the season before he got hurt, he had a better passer rating than Peyton Manning. Check it up. Had more yards, I believe, as well. So, not saying if he finished out the season, Bradford would have had more yards overall and towards the end, because he did play 3 or 4 weeks, so I know it's not too much, but I'm just saying he was playing really, really good. And I still have faith in Bradford. I really do. I think he can still get the job done and win games and clutch games as well for the Rams. So no Johnny Manziel there. If he's there, if the Texans don't take him, don't pick Johnny Manziel. What the Rams need to do is upgrade offensively, because you had a pretty solid defense, and you can still address that later. With the second overall pick, if I'm the Rams, I'd take Sammy Watkins out of Clemson. No doubt, no brainer. Right when the Houston Texans make their pick, boom, I put my pick in. I'm not talking to any other teams for trades unless they're offering, the the first round, and then they're giving me a second round. Then maybe, I might listen to it. But really, for the Rams, you got to get Watkins. Having Watkins on one side, Tavon Austin on the other, Stedman Bailey in the middle, and then you got Givens on the other side as well. You still have your tight end, Jared Cook. Wow. That offense is looking pretty good. Especially, when you got to go against Rich Sherman and the Legion of Boom over in Seattle twice a year. You got to play against San Francisco 49ers defense, which, they don't really have top cornerbacks, but still San Francisco 49ers. They got a pretty good defense. And then you got Patrick Peterson, the Honey Badger on the other side with the Arizona Cardinals twice a year as well. Offensively, you have to upgrade. You don't score any points, and this is what you need to do. I know they need offensive line help as well, but you got to get that explosive player. And Watkins is way too good to pass up. If the Rams pass him up or trade out and they don't get a good trade, they shot themselves in the foot. If I'm the GM, I take Watkins right then and there because I don't think the Texans will take him. And that's another thing. Anybody thought of Texans taking Sammy Watkins first overall? I haven't read it anywhere, and I've been looking at a lot of places, and I haven't seen Watkins being number 1 overall. But imagine that. If you're not going to go quarterback, if you're already sold on not going on a quarterback right now, and defensively you feel like you could get someone else later in the draft, obviously, not a Khalil Mack, not a Clowney, but someone else, then you could be saying, imagine if, you already have Foster at running back, Johnson on one side receiver, Hopkins, who also is a former Clemson Tiger, and then Watkins with him. Any quarterback's going to do okay with that. Any quarterback will do okay with that. But I mean, I don't see it happening, but that's an idea that needs to be passed out around there. But Texans do need help defensively. But anyways, back to the Rams. Get Sammy Watkins, and Sam Bradford just gets to sit back and say, all right, I feel a little bit more comfortable now. I feel more comfortable. I would. Moving on, the 3rd overall pick is the Jacksonville Jaguars, who just need a whole lot of help. Just a lot of help. I think for Jacksonville, what you saw in Toby Gerhart, I have no idea. I mean, he's got you power back, but that's not what's going to win in the NFL right now. Justin Blackmon, he's got all these issues right now. You have no wide receiver. And again, if this is the Rams, if they go by this, if they pick Watkins, Jacksonville Jaguars select Johnny Manziel, quarterback out of Texas A&M. At least you bring some energy from your fans, and you might actually sell more than half your stadium. You might get some more ticket sales. That would be nice. Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Johnny Manziel. I would feel so bad for Manziel, because then I could see where the label of being a bust comes into play, because you got no one to throw to. You have no running back. Your offensive line is pretty bad, and you can't rely on your defense for crap. So other than your kicker, you're kind of screwed. So that would suck for Johnny Manziel, but that's what I would see happening in this year's draft. Then you got the Cleveland Browns at number 4, who are such toss-up, turn-around, smoke screens, everything. Browns, I can't get a read on. That is one team I cannot get a read on whatsoever. Because I thought they were going to go Manziel, but, obviously Jacksonville picks him up first. Who does that leave? And I would like to see them go defense, and I think they should, but that front offense, we can't really trust in Cleveland Browns front office right now. I think with the 4th overall pick, Cleveland Browns select Mike Evans, back-to-back A&M players right then and there. I know they have Josh Gordon, who led the league in receptions per game, or yards after catch, and yards overall, receiving yards. But having another big target for whoever your quarterback will be, if you're not sold on a quarterback right now, because I don't know. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with the Mike Evans thing, because you're like, why would they pick Mike Evans? You shouldn't go 4th overall. And that's true, but you never know with the Cleveland Browns. And I guess you can make the argument they go and get Blake Bortles, 4th overall. You know what? I guess I'll change it. I'll change it to Blake Bortles. I got it written down here, but I'll change it to Blake Bortles. I'm not a fan of Blake Bortles at all. I think he's a bust. I think it's written all over there. I know he's got the strong arm, but there's something about him that, to me, I don't see NFL on him. I just don't see what he can bring. I think he's one that player. I can't think of his name. The 49ers drafted him. It was in the documentary of the Brady Six, the 6 quarterbacks ever picked before Tom Brady. And the 49ers picked the guy. Oh, what was his name? He was out of, what was it, Hofstra or something like that? Oh, man, what was his name? He had a weird last name. But anyways, that is who Blake Bortles reminds me of. All that hype, strong arm, big stature, your prototypical quarterback in the NFL, all this stuff becomes a huge bust. That is who he reminds me of. That Bortles is the guy that the 49ers drafted the year Tom Brady was drafted. Oh, man. I can't think of the guy. You guys know who I'm talking about. That's who he reminds me of. So, Cleveland Browns, 4th overall, Blake Bortles out of UCF. 5th is the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders. And here they have to go defense. Defense, because we all know Denver Broncos, still going to be good offense. Raiders, Terrell Pryor to me was their best quarterback on that team, even with Matt Schaub there. He is no longer there, as we all know. Now he's shipped out to Seattle. So they believe in Matt Schaub being the guy, if not Matt McCloy, if he has to step in. So, and they got both Darren McFadden and Maurice Jones-Drew, which I really like. I like that running back tandem. Even though they're old and banged up right now, they could produce for the Oakland Raiders. That's probably the smartest signings right there for the Raiders in a very long time. They just happen to be veterans too and old. But anyways, getting them. This is where the Raiders need to go. It's Khalil Mack, defense linebacker, because of the fact that they don't have a pass rusher at all. They let Lamar Houston go to Chicago, and that's it. They don't have a really good defense. And having a pass rusher to put on one side and hopefully relieving some stress off, for defensive coordinators, because they need someone that's going to get after Peyton Manning. They have nobody right now. Nobody. So with the Raiders getting Khalil Mack, that helps out a lot. And he's going to get so much workload on him. It's going to be crazy, because Khalil Mack is going to be their guy they're going to be relying on as if he was a 10-year NFL veteran. And it's kind of how the Raiders just do things. I could see Mike Evans being picked here, just because of the fact Watkins being gone. The next big receiver, Mike Evans. And that would be really good for the Raiders. If they can get a tall 6'5" wide receiver, guy that's going to stretch the field, he's going to be able to be a red zone target, that would be huge for them. But like the GM said for the Raiders, that you can't look at winning now, it's for later. Khalil Mack is the way to go, because you can take a little bit more time with them, rotate him here and there, and hopefully he becomes that big stud for you 2 years from now, 3 years. I don't know how far they're looking into the future. I want someone that's going to win right now. That's why for the Rams, it's not get an offensive tackle. It's get a Watkins and go with it. But who knows? Next pick is the Atlanta Falcons, who really want Jadeveon Clowney or Khalil Mack, but I see both of them being gone. Who does that leave? Offensive tackle Greg Robinson out of Auburn. Those are their two main spots are offensive tackle and defensive lineman. With both of the defensive linemen being out, gotta go offensive tackle. Help Matt Ryan, give more time. And I think it's still good overall. I think some Falcons fans are going to be disappointed that they can't get a Khalil Mack or Jadeveon Clowney. A lot of fans would be. But Greg Robinson, to me, and this is huge to say, but I think he's a future Hall of Famer. This guy can block, and he's really, really good. He's got the size. He's got the footwork. He's smart, a very smart player. So what else do you need? What else do you need? And him being in Atlanta, being, not that close to Alabama, but close, knowing the area, he's gonna feel more comfortable being there. And for the Falcons, it's a good pickup for them, getting really top offensive linemen. With the 7th pick overall, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Evans. Opposite side of Vincent Jackson. Vincent Jackson can teach Mike Evans things he hasn't learned yet, possibly, if not get him better, because Vincent Jackson is just an older Mike Evans, just without the off the field problems, because he's 6'5", 6'6", you know, top wide receiver that can make the plays, jump balls, red zone target, something that the San Diego Chargers missed so much. Why did we let Vincent Jackson go? That was so stupid. That was so dumb. Oh, man. But having Vincent Jackson 6'5" on one side, Mike Evans on the other 6'5", whoo! Any quarterback that goes there, Tampa Bay is going to be set. Doug Martin coming back at your running back position. You got a running back position by committee with Mike James. Rainey guy, I can't think of what his entire name was. Was Bobby Rainey. Having him there. Got the speed factor. The offense for Tampa Bay steps up real quickly with the Mike Evans at wide receiver there, because he takes off some pressure. And Mike Williams, if he's going to be there and be ready, no idea. But so that helps him out. And getting a quarterback later for Tampa Bay is going to be okay. Minnesota Vikings need a quarterback, need help. There's a way to go. Teddy Bridgewater to the Minnesota Vikings. Teddy Bridgewater drops down, and that way, you know, Adrian Peterson, you know, what I do like to see is Adrian Peterson and the Vikings getting Carlos Hyde, running back out of Ohio State, in the 2nd round or 3rd, depending on, I don't see Carlos Hyde going in the 3rd round. So 2nd round, because Peterson and Carlos Hyde don't really have the same body, because, you know, I think Hyde is only like 5'10", 5'11", and Peterson being 6 foot, 6'1". But they both have that power to them. And, you know, obviously the football IQ that Peterson could pass down to Hyde, you could be looking at a really good tandem right there. That is something. If Vikings wanted that power running back, you know, I know Peterson has power. I'm not taking anything away, but I'm just saying that real just 3rd down guy that Toby Gerhart was supposed to be, Carlos Hyde can do that, if not better. Actually, he will do it better than Toby Gerhart could ever do. And I know that's the 2nd round I'm talking about, but that's something I want to see. But Teddy Bridgewater going to the Vikings could start by mid-season. I could see that quickly happening. Christian Ponder, what a bust, what a fail. And so is Mack. Well, Mack Castle, I wouldn't say necessarily he's a bust. I think, I mean, he's not good, but he's not bad either. So Matt Castle could, you know, get in there. But Teddy Bridgewater learning the system, I think Bridgewater could fit in Minnesota with Cordell Patterson at wide receiver. I think you would have some younger confidence and just, I don't think things would be a little bit smoother. The hype would be more for Minnesota with Teddy Bridgewater there. So I would like to see that being there. Number 9 is the Buffalo Bills. What will they do here? Got to go defense. Have to go defense. They're playing Tom Brady twice a year. Got to go defense. Now, I would love to see the Bills get Aaron Donald, defensive tackle, Pittsburgh. Having him mixed in, you run that 4-3 off defense. You got Marcel Darius, who I know just got in trouble, but he'll still be able to play. Marcel Darius, 1 nose tackle, and then you have Donald on the other side. 2 big physical defensive linemen. You're looking back, this is going back to the Williams brothers in Minnesota. That is what you would get with both of them. That's what I like to see there. Don't think that happens. Think Buffalo Bills go ahead and get Justin Gilbert. I believe that was his right name. Cornerback, Oklahoma State. They get him to help out with receivers being gone, being later. That's who they get. Moving on, number 10, Detroit Lions. This one's a tough one. Same thing. I could see Donald being there because Ndamukong Suh, not knowing what's going to happen there. Nick Fairley, not going to use his option, his 2015 option. but it wouldn't make sense to have 3 defensive tackles on your roster like that. So for them, it's got to go wide receiver or secondary. Mike Evans, I see being gone, as well as Watkins. So you either have Odell Beckham Jr. or you go another cornerback, and with Gilbert being gone, possibly Darqueze Dennard. Don't really know. Detroit Lions, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. We're actually going to have to go look that one up. Wow. What? I don't know. Detroit Lions, that's a different one for me. Let's see. Mock draft. Let's go. Let's see. Who are people thinking they will go? Now, obviously, they're going to have someone else. Take a quick second. I actually got Time Warner to fix up my internet. It's going to be a lot faster. Let's see. Scroll. Oh, yeah. The Rams getting offensive tackle. I know they need help, but they got to get Watkins. There's no way. Number 10. Oh, okay. They have Anthony Barr going to outside linebacker from UCLA. I like that. Anthony Barr, linebacker. Really, really good. What is he? 6'3", 230, something like that. And they do need a pass rushing linebacker. I know last year they drafted the guy out of BYU, Ziggy Ansah. He did pretty good. They also have the other draft possibilities: Eric Ebram, tight end out of North Carolina, UNC, and Odell Beckham. He's the other guy. So I guess I could go with Anthony Barr. I guess I could see that. Anthony Barr being there. With the 11th overall pick, it is the Tennessee Titans. I'm not going to do any trades here. I don't see any trades really happen. I mean, there will be trades. I think this year we're going to see a lot more trades than usual. But I'm going to roll with there not being any trades. Tennessee Titans need a lot of help. Quarterbacks are really gone that are first round material. I don't know. There's some first rounders in AJ McCarron. I think he could be a first round quarterback. But it won't happen. But with that Tennessee Titans, I see them getting Eric Ebram. And I saw one report. I forgot where it came from. Who had that in their mock draft? Was it Mayock? I think it was Mayock. Mike Mayock had that in his draft, saying Eric Ebram going there. I agree too. He made a good case. Having a big tight end out there, they already have some solid wide receivers for Tennessee. That would help Jake Locker getting someone like that. And Ebram, I think he can develop into one of the best tight ends out there within a few years. Next pick, number 12, is the New York Giants. And I believe that is where they address their defensive back situation. Darqueze Dennard sadly goes to the Giants. I really like Darqueze Dennard, Michigan State cornerback. That guy if he went to Seattle, that would be incredible. He won't drop that far. There's no way he drops that far. But if he did, Seattle would be extremely blessed to have Darqueze Dennard there. But that won't happen. I'm sorry with talking about that. But Giants getting him, I could see that. I know they need offensive lineman help, but I think their defense is bad. St. Louis Rams have the 13th pick, and I think they I had them picking Watkins. So they go and address defensive tackle, and that's where defense, and that's where they get Clinton Dix, Alabama safety. They need a bigger defensive back out there, and they need someone that's going to be, that center fielder that's watching the field and making the plays. I could see the play in for Kyle Fuller at cornerback for them, but I think safety, that way you're more protected for the guys, out in the back. I think it'd be really good to get Clinton Dix from Alabama. Next pick, Chicago Bears. That's where, if Donald's not picked by then, Aaron Donald, defensive tackle from Pittsburgh. That's where he goes. They need that front line back together. They really do. Secondary, I know it's getting older, but I put one more year into it. They can get someone later in the draft, but I think that's where it happens. Is where Donald will go. 15th overall is the Pittsburgh Steelers. They need help as well. That's where I think Kyle Fuller will go at cornerback. Again, if Denard is there, I see him. I think Denard's the best cornerback out of all of them. Even over, I'm a TCU fan, even over Jason Verrett, I think Denard is a better corner just because he's got that size on him. And then it all comes down to number 16, the Dallas Cowboys, who really, it's weird how they can become within like a few years ago, not that long ago, they had one of the best talented football teams, talented players on their team, but just couldn't get it done. Now they've quickly become a team that really has no talent. They need help at almost every single position. Offensive line, get another receiver out there. If Murray can't stay healthy, you're going to have to look at running back position. Quarterback, Tony Romo, how is he going to play? You might even have to look at your quarterback position. And then defensively, that's where you're in a huge mix. Defensive line, you have none. You lost them all. Linebackers, Sean Lee can't stay healthy after two and a half weeks without getting a concussion. You're going to have to look at linebacker positions, both outside and inside. Cornerback, Claiborne really hasn't played that well. Sadly, I hope he steps up because he wears 24. That's my number. And he was a stud at LSU and really should get a whole lot better. But if he doesn't perform well, you're going to need a cornerback. And then safety, you don't have one. So Cowboys, geez. And I see Clinton Dix being gone. So I think they go after Calvin Pryor, safety out of Louisville, I believe. They need some defensive back help. And I think, even though I know people can say, why not a defensive lineman to come in as soon as possible? It's just, the defensive backs, more depth there, it would help them a lot better. Next, and there's this rumor of Johnny Manziel going to Cowboys, even though I'm not a Cowboys fan and I won't be even if Manziel somehow went there. But if Manziel did somehow fall, which is, it's not going to happen, it's impossible. Manziel falls. It's impossible that he falls down to 16, and it's impossible for the Dallas Cowboys to trade up 10 to 14 spots to get Manziel. But the rumor of Cowboys getting Manziel or whatever, it's not gonna happen. I would love to see Johnny Manziel come to Dallas. I would love to see him wear a Dallas Cowboy uniform, but it won't happen. So this rumor that got started, it's an awesome rumor, but it's just not going to happen. And it's crazy because a lot of my family and friends are Cowboys fans living in Texas. That's just what you're going to have to deal with. But it's not going to happen, guys. It's just not going to happen. They're saying, oh, we can trade Romo. He just signed a 6-year, $106 million contract, and he has a bad back. Nobody wants him. No one's going to pay that money. Dallas Cowboys are not going to just trade him, pick up majority of the contract, and pay dead money. They saw the Oakland Raiders do it. No one else is going to ever do that. You can't trade him. You have no player to trade other than Dez Bryant. I doubt you're going to want to trade him. So, Cowboys, Manziel, not happening. Next is the New York Jets, and this is where... Oh, excuse me. Whoa, I just skipped one. The Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore Ravens. Now... I'm seeing things on Eric Ebron being there. That would be nice to have him. But this is where who's that other cornerback? There's Kyle Fuller. Oh, the Ohio State guy. Oh man, I forgot his name. Roby is his last name. That I see him going there. He fits that type of system. He's a pretty hard hitter. Not the best coverage skills. I don't think he's that good at covering. But I think the Ravens coaching up a little bit in the system he can fit in, I think that'll help him. And Ravens, we all know they're a hard-hitting defense. At least they used to be. And him being there, that could be a really good fit for him. Next, number 18 is the New York Jets. And they have 2 quarterbacks. They signed Eric Decker. They still need help on offense. If we had a really good running back, this is where a running back would go. This would be the first running back right here, but there's not, and it won't happen. But New York Jets, oh wait, they got Chris Johnson too, but like I said, still need a running back. I know people are gonna say defense, but I say wide receiver, and I'm gonna go Odell Beckham Jr., LSU. Jets get him. Nice fit there. You have Jeremy Curley from TCU, who led the team in yards and I believe touchdowns as well. And just give you another target because you don't know who your quarterback's going to be. If you start Vic, if Vic does win outright but gets hurt, you're going to have to go back to Geno. If Geno doesn't feel comfortable, he's going to need multiple targets to throw to. You're going to have Jeremy Curley. You're going to have now Odell Beckham Jr., Eric Decker, have Chris Johnson at your running back. It gives you more weapons. More weapons, the better more comfortable you feel, the better you're going to play. So that's where I see the Jets going. Next is Miami Dolphins. They're going to need offensive line. I'm not too, other than Greg Robinson, I'm not too much focused on offensive line of all the players, but this is where I believe they'll go after the Taylor Lewin, Michigan offensive tackle. This is where I see him going pretty late, but Dolphins are going to need all the offensive linemen they can get. Next is the Arizona Cardinals. Quarterbacks, Derek Carr, who I attacked. I did attack on my show for throughout the entire season. But I did watch the entire, not the 3-minute clip. I saw the entire, what's his name? John Gruden. His show that he has with all the quarterbacks. I saw it. I'm not sold on Derek Carr, but he does have that arm. I'm going to give him credit on that. I can't be dumb and be blindsided by that. He does have the arm, and this would be the best fit for him. Derek Carr going to Arizona has time to sit down and actually watch Carson Palmer do his job. And you never know, week 10, week 12, possibly week 14, if Palmer's struggling or hurt, and you got to step in. You've been on the bench for a while, but you've been learning, getting some reps in. Derek Carr could take a shine late in the season, but the worst thing that can happen for Carr is he has to go in against a team against like Seattle, San Francisco, even possibly the St. Louis Rams. That could be pretty scary for him, and it could screw him up pretty badly. But Arizona Cardinals getting quarterback. I could see a wide receiver here to get an extra help, but really quarterback, they got to look for the future right here. Derek Carr is the guy to go. Green Bay Packers select CJ Mosley, linebacker out of Alabama. They need some linebacker help. This is the best way to go. CJ Mosley could fit, pretty positively in that system, pretty good. I can see some, him learning with Clay Matthews on the other, inside with him. Be real smart for CJ Mosley. He's a coverage type linebacker. I mean, it doesn't mean he can't hit. He can hit, but he got that coverage skill that Clay Matthews, has, but not too much of. So that could give, a two-way little system for Green Bay right there. Philadelphia Eagles go after wide receiver Cody Latimer, Indiana. Fast guy. Who else is fast? Who likes fast? Chip Kelly. It's the best thing for them. They do need defensive help, but I think all the cornerbacks are being gone. I know Jason Verrett's still there, but I got a little surprise for Jason Verrett here. They go after wide receivers. They lost Deshaun Jackson. Got to replace him. Stupid thing for the Philadelphia Eagles, but that's the way they want to roll. You got to go after wide receiver. Kansas City Chiefs, I believe, go after Brandon Cooks, wide receiver out of Oregon State. Another really, really fast guy, and be all right for the Kansas City Chiefs, and they're gonna need more targets for Alex Smith, so on like that. Cincinnati Bengals need a cornerback, need defensive help. I think they go after defensive line because they lost. Sadly, they lost Michael Johnson to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They go after Coney Ealy, defensive. Actually, no, I'm changing that. Scratch that, scratch that, scratch that. They go after defensive linemen, but they're gonna get. And how am I gonna scratch it when I can't even freaking think of his name? Oh man. All right, I'm gonna say it. I believe it's right. Dominic Easley is his name. Am I right? Defensive lineman out of Florida. If I'm not right, I'm close to it. Cincinnati Bengals get him. Increase, that defensive line. Continue to have it there, the depth as well. Great fit for him. Moving on to the 25th pick, my San Diego Chargers, 25th pick. I'm so excited, but I really shouldn't get this excited because I'm pretty sure we're going to trade out. I really think the San Diego Chargers trade out. As a fan, it sucks. But you got to think about it and say, hey, it's going to be really good because you're going to get true second-round picks, probably another third round, maybe. At least for sure you're going to get a second-round pick. You got to get something else. You can't just switch out. Maybe a second and a fourth or second and a fifth. Sounds good to me. But if the Chargers somehow do stay at the number 25 overall, they get wide receiver Marquise Lee. Now the reason I'm going wide receiver instead of defense because we were terrible defense. We need cornerbacks. But I think for the Chargers, if Darqueze Dennard is not there, do not get a cornerback. Stay away from the rest. I'm not saying the rest can't do anything. Dennard is my favorite, and I think that's why I'm saying that. I might be biased right there, but Dennard is my favorite cornerback. He's a physicalness and all, and he's a top player. He's gonna probably be defensive rookie of the year, probably. But wide receiver, let's get another one. If we have to go back to back with the Denver Broncos, screw it. Let's do it. Let's go offenses. Let's go all out. Score tons of points if that's what we got to do. I know we saw this year defense wins championships with the Seattle Seahawks, but I want to go offense. And Marquise Lee, solid size, has good speed. Forget the injury that happened to him. Southern Cal guy. He's in your backyard. You have to get him. I think he's got it all. He's gonna have that swagger for our wide receivers. And with Malcolm Floyd probably not coming back, I hope he does. That would give us some more extra depth. But Keenan Allen, everybody's gonna be locked up on Keenan Allen. It's gonna be double coverage. It's gonna get bumped at the line, not only by a corner but a linebacker, and have over the top help at all times. Keenan Allen is going to probably drop in receptions if we don't get a top wide receiver. This is the time to do it. Get Marquise Lee, and Phillip Rivers is going to have a field day out there. Then we go and help in the second, third, fourth rounds, or go after cornerbacks, defensive linemen, linebackers, safeties, and just go all out. Can't talk right now. All out after that, but get Marquise Lee. He's my guy I want to go to if Darqueze Dennard is not there. I know they're saying Louis Nix from Notre Dame, defensive tackle, because we also need help there. But I'm going to wait on that. I wait on that. I have a feeling that Charger fans are going to know who I'm talking about, but he was undrafted last year. He was a defensive tackle out of Georgia. His last name is Geathers, Geathers. He's got huge size on him, and I think he can really step in. Give him more time. I think he might be a surprise player. Number 26 is the Cleveland Browns once again, and I think who did I say they were gonna get? I already forgot. Who did I say Browns were gonna get? Son of a biscuit. I already forgot. So focus on my Chargers right now. Anyways, they have to go get somebody. And who can that be? I think it's going to be linebackers. Let's go linebackers. And let's say Ryan Shazier. Can't even say his name. Linebacker out of Ohio State. I know they signed Carlos Dansby, but he's old now. Get a younger linebacker out there. Have the Browns have a what's their nickname going to be for a defense? Because they improved defensively in free agency. So get another one. Get a linebacker out there. Man, I can't. Who did I really say? I didn't say Mike Evans, right? Did I say Khalil Mack? If I did, I don't think I should go for a linebacker here. Get another wide receiver. I can't remember. New Orleans Saints. They're gonna need some help. You know, a defense. I can't. I'm trying to look down and see who's next. This is where a defensive tackle for the Saints should go. Let's get a front seven for the Saints. You know, let's go back at it, and I think they're gonna get the guy out of Minnesota, Rashid Hagman. I don't know, but anyways, he's a really good defensive tackle. He's got the size, football IQ all on him. Saints, you know, I know they need help secondary, but defensive line, if you get that pass rush, almost any defensive cornerback is going to be able to make the plays. And next is Carolina Panthers. You got to go wide receiver, bud. Got to go wide receiver. There's no way you skip out on a wide receiver. You let everybody go at wide receiver. So who are you going to get? Now, we already took away a good amount of wide receivers. I'm going to have to go across the board here looking at the wide receivers that are left. Obviously, there's tons of wide receivers left. But it's the time the internet needs to act slow. It's not the time. Let's go scrolling around. I didn't think I was going to go this far, but I went ahead and go. Dominique Easley. Okay, I did say his name right. Just want to make sure. Kelvin Benjamin. Wow, forgot all about him. We could go him. Who else? Jordan Matthews. No, he's going to be later. Kelvin Benjamin. We're gonna go. Kelvin Benjamin is going to be selected for the Carolina Panthers. That gives you a huge target. Huge target. 6'5". Right there, and that's not, you know, a lie. That's a real 6'5". So for them, that would be huge. You know, they need help. They need help for the next New England Patriots. Now this team, they're always the weird ones you got to watch. The Patriots, who knows what they're gonna do? Most likely they're gonna trade out. But if they do stay with Vince Wilfork, I know they signed him, but he got hurt last year. How he's gonna play, and also, you know, if he calls it quits pretty soon, he can always just say quit. You know, he's done. Lewis Nix from Notre Dame, good fit, fits the system for New England, Bill Belichick, and helps him out. Next is at number 30 is the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco 49ers, and I think they go defense. Because not knowing what's going to happen. I know they picked up the option on Aldon Smith. I think they go Coney Ely, defensive end, Missouri. That way, he's a defensive end. He can fit better. He could sit behind Aldon Smith and the other players and watch and learn from them. That way, if need be, he needs to step up and take over for Smith because he decides to get drunk at an airport again, or DWI, slap somebody's mom. You know, you're able to have a guy right there in waiting. The number 31 is the Denver Broncos, and this is where you're gonna have to go. I say cornerback. I think you have to go cornerback, but man, a lot of the defensive backs are already gone. We'll have to check it out again because, you know, not having Champ Bailey anymore, and in defense, you know, in the Super Bowl, they were burnt in the secondary, and I don't think they need to go safety. They got TJ Ward. Let's see. Let's go secondary. Who was out there? You got Jimmy Ward, Northern Illinois, safety. Man, there are no cornerbacks after that. You got Keith McGill, Utah cornerback. I don't know about that. Wow. All right. Well, since that's not going to work at cornerback position, I would like to see Jordan Matthews go there for Denver. Actually, no, I don't know why I would like to see that. That wouldn't help me. He could fit there. But one thing would be interesting. I'm going LaMarcus Joyner. Let's go LaMarcus Joyner. LaMarcus Joyner goes as a cornerback. He also played a little bit of safety back at Florida State. That would be something for them. But I think they need to get the defensive secondary because that was their weakest link. Especially after what's-his-face went out in the playoffs. The tore his ACL, was out for the rest of the playoffs. I don't think he even signed with the team. Or yeah, he did. It was Cromartie. Rogers Cromartie. No, was it someone else? Ah, man, I can't even think of his name. But y'all know who I'm talking about. Tore his ACL, was out for the rest of the playoffs, and they had the stat, and I talked about on my show that the quarterback passer rating was like a specific type of rate. It was really low when he was on the field, but it was really high when he was off the field. So you're gonna need that. And overall, number 32, to finish off the draft, the Seattle's super winning Seahawks take Jason Verrett from TCU. Now, I would hate to see him drop this low, but he's a predator. He's a predator. Well, actually, let me rephrase that. If I say he's a predator, I don't want people thinking he does something to kids. That's not what I meant. He's got dreadlocks. Jason Verrett, when he's got a helmet on with the visor, he looks like a predator, like from Alien Predator. Not, here's some candy predator. Not like that. Anyways, him with the Legion of Boom, the secondary would be incredible right there. And what he can learn from Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, that could be a really good group of defensive back. And they lost Walter Thurman, they lost Brandon Browner, so having him would help out, add more depth at that secondary. Why not? Why not add more to what is already great? Now, honestly, they're probably going to go after an offensive tackle or offensive guard here because Wilson, even though everybody say, oh, he's a mobile quarterback, that was because he had to get out the pocket. It wasn't just because, oh, I feel like running like Michael Vick, let me just go out and take, 6 yards for a first down. No, it was, holy crap, my offensive line can't protect me. I got to move around. That's what happened. And again, you got to play the Rams with Robert Quinn, who had, 18.5 sacks. He's going to be after you 2 games a year. You got San Francisco 49ers, who always have pass rushers with Aldon Smith, Justin Smith, so on and so forth. And then the Arizona Cardinals, they had a really good pass rush as well. So you're going to need offensive line help. But if you feel like just going after and just picking for a better second, adding to your secondary, Jason Verrett would be an awesome. But that's it. Round 1. I'm not going all 7 rounds. That's just crazy. But what do you guys think about that? The first 32 picks right there. Again, that is with no trades or anything. How do you feel about that? Would you, who do you want your team to get? How do you feel your team will do? Is your team even picking? If you're an Indianapolis Colts fan, I'm sorry. I truly am. It's the way the cookie crumbles sometime. It doesn't, I'm probably with you. I think my Chargers are going to trade out anyways, so it doesn't matter. But last thing I want to touch on is the players that stand out. Players that stand out to me. And I got 3 players so far. There's more, I'm sure, after they get picked. I'll talk about it in Monday's episode once the draft is all over with. We'll review some of the, the surprises and all that other good stuff. But Boise State defensive end and slash linebacker DeMarcus Lawrence. Now, this guy has the name of a just, you think of DeMarcus Ware, you got Lawrence Taylor. Bam, mix them together. Bam. No, that's not the main reason. Main reason, he's 6'3", 2-something, and he's a good pass rusher. And to develop in the right system, I don't see him as a defensive end. I think they switch him to a linebacker, outside linebacker, in a 3-4 defense. He can be really good. They predict him going in mid to late second round. But whoever gets him is going to be a very, very happy team. He's going to do really good. He might even go into with the Seahawks. That would be something. Adding a pass rusher as a linebacker for them when they have really a lot of coverage linebackers. So he's someone. Clemson wide receiver, and this guy's been talked about now later as we go on, is Martavius Bryant. He got overshadowed because of Sammy Watkins, but this guy is a true player. I can be happy if the Chargers did stick at the 25th spot and pick a nose tackle or cornerback, some defensive player, and we want to go Martavis Bryant with the second round pick if he's still there, that would be okay. I do like Marquise Lee though, but Martavis Bryant, 6'1", got really good speed. I think he had 823 yards last season, so he can fit into the San Diego Chargers system as well. That would be something. And running back, that main reason, and a lot of people won't know this name, and this is what I'm talking about. Sam Houston State running back Tim Flanders. Have you heard of him? Probably not. The reason why that I've heard of him and know him is because my home school here in San Marcos, Texas, is Texas State. They were in the Southland Conference not too long ago. We played against Sam Houston State. Tim Flanders, I believe, was a freshman at that time, freshman or sophomore. And Sam Houston State was a part of winning. Actually, they lost in the championship games, back to back. And he was a really good running back. He's 5'11", 2-something as well. He's not that fast, but he can fit into a really good system. If he's drafted, it's 6th, 7th round. But if not, I think multiple teams will call him, and he'll make a team. And I wouldn't mind Chargers picking him up later. Not drafting him because we need other positions we got to draft. But running back, free agency, he would be someone I'd be happy with and if you haven't heard about him, go look up some highlights. He's really, really good. But anyways, that's it for the show. Went through the entire first round. If people disagree, don't get all crazy that talk about your team or anything or like that. Nothing wrong with that. Difference of opinion. It's all good. But let me know what you guys think and how excited you are for tonight's draft. It's crazy. It's gonna be crazy. And hopefully my Chargers don't trade out. But then again, it'd probably be smart if we did. But anyways, actually, one thing I told him I would do it. Dimitri is my friend, a huge Denver Bronco fan, and he wanted me to talk about this is his think top 5 picks right here. He's got Clowney going to Houston, the Rams trading the pick to Atlanta, and Atlanta Falcons picking Khalil Mack, Jacksonville Jaguars taking Manziel, Cleveland taking Bortles, Oakland taking Sammy Watkins. And he believes the Denver Broncos will pick C.J. Mosley from Alabama. If not, now I think the other linebacker he was talking about was the guy from Ohio State, the Ryan Shazier, things like that. And I don't know if Watkins will fall to Oakland, but there's a chance that could happen. And that's it. So thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed. It's going to be crazy. I will be back next Monday morning. You can always check it out, The Short Sports Show. Follow me on Twitter at @short_sports 24/7 and become a fan on Facebook, The Short Sports Show. Links are in the description. Also have my YouTube channel. If you're listening on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spreaker.com. Make sure you give it a like, subscribe, favorite, comment, all the other good stuff. Follow button. And yeah, I'm excited. Draft is 4 hours away now, and it's gonna take me about 2.5 hours to render this video. I wish I just upload straight to YouTube, but it doesn't do that, so gotta deal with it. But anyways, thanks you guys for listening. Let me know in the comment section what you are expecting for tonight's draft. Should the draft stay in New York? We'll talk about that on Monday. I want to save that for Monday's episode. That'll be an interesting topic to talk about. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for listening. I will see you guys then. God first, God bless. I am out. Bolt up, Chargers. Let's go. Let's draft someone good, and let's not screw up. Please, I really hope we get someone. Anyways, I'm out, guys. Deuces.